Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the match between Athletic Club and FC Barcelona, and in this game Barcelona has lost against Athletic Club 3-2 in the round of 16. Barcelona is officially out from the Copa del Rey. Now that we are out from this tournament, we are officially out from the Champions League. We are out from the Super Cup, from the Copa del Rey. The only thing that we do have to fight for now is La Liga, and in La Liga we are in 6th place, and the margin between the 1st place and 6th place is very huge. And so it is clear that this is not a Barcelona season, that we are in a transitional phase where we need to, and our only mission moving forward now is to get into the top 4. That is basically it. That is all we do have to play for. And look, I'm not going to go on like a tangent for today's video. I'm not going to be like, oh, look at Xavi's Barcelona, it's clearly not working well, when we knew that Xavi was going to be taking care of a broken Barcelona that is going to be taking some time for us to get to the top. And now we're finally seeing that right now this Barcelona squad is in a transitional phase, and that is something that we do have to deal with. Now there are certain players within this squad that do not necessarily play like they used to play. They do not necessarily bring the level that we do need. I'm not going to name out the names as of now, but there are players that do need to get away from this club, whether it's taking that step down or moving to a different club, because Barcelona, they have to move forward. They have to continue to improve. And right now, if we continue to have those players that hurt Barcelona, Barcelona will not improve. And so I know that this does seem like this is not really like a review between Athletic Club and Barcelona. I'm kind of like just talking about the overall review of this season, but that is because we continue to see the exact same problems. And so because this game did go all the way until extra time, I'm only going to briefly talk about the first half, the second half, and the extra time. Now let's talk about the first half. And the one thing to get very clear is that Athletic Club, they had a very clear game plan. Their clarity, right, within the first half, those first 10 to 15 minutes, their clarity was so like upfront. Like we knew exactly what they wanted to do in those first 10 to 15 minutes, and that was to press Busquets and Gerard Piqué, because every time they pressed Piqué, Piqué misplaced a pass. If they press Busquets, he loses the ball, and then Athletic Club are on the counter, and that hurt Barcelona massively. Like I was very surprised that Barcelona came out this first half in a 1-1 tie, because Athletic Club could have easily scored about 3 goals. And so we did see in the first half Barcelona starting their play with Gerard Piqué. He was the main ball distributor, and Athletic Club were taking advantage of that first step that Barcelona were taking. They wanted to press Gerard Piqué because they knew that he was the only player that was capable to distribute the ball. But Gerard Piqué, because he is not at that level no more, and the fact that Athletic Club were very attentive of Gerard Piqué, we continue to lose the ball most of the time. This is why I do say that Eric Garcia needs to be in place of Gerard Piqué, because he is someone that's very attentive. He is someone that knows that he will get pressed, and he knows how to act immediately and accordingly. Moving forward, Eric Garcia should be the main ball distributor. If he is healthy, if he is 100% fit, he should be a starter right alongside Ronald Araujo, because what we did see tonight, it was not the best coming from Gerard Piqué. And so Athletic Club did score early on the 2nd minute. Alba got completely dusted down that left flank. The player made a cross into the box and went and hit the farthest man inside the box. Athletic Club had possession of the ball. The player basically chipped the ball over to Stehen, and it was a goal. Barcelona were already 1-0 down in the 2nd minute, and that basically set the tone of the first half. Like Athletic Club came here to win. The fact that I was able to give out this amount of detail in such a short amount of time, like within 2 minutes, it showed you that Barcelona was showing so many weaknesses and vulnerability in those first 1 to 2 minutes. We saw the weakest links. Like just look at these stats here. Just look at the stats between Barcelona and Athletic Club in the first half. How the heck is Barcelona having 64% possession while Athletic Club has 36%, but they have a total of 10 total shots, 3 shots that were on target, 4 shots that were off target, and 3 blocked shots. And at the same time, we saw Barcelona on the other hand, who had 64% possession and only had 1 total shot. That is basically it. They had nothing else. Athletic Club had all of the opportunity in the world to score more than 3 to 4 goals, and Barcelona were lucky that they were not 100% clinical. And so sometimes we saw Alves also misplace a pass, but that is mostly because there was like no one near Alves that was going to be able to support him. Like they knew that Dani Alves is not the youngest player no more. Like he is an old player. He is considered as a veteran, and you need to have players around Alves to support him, but no one was there. They did not play like a team. And so because there were so many defects very early early in the game between Dani Alves, Gerard Piqué, Busquets, Alba. The result was this. They had a very tough time connecting the front three. Like the front three was barely visible. We continued throughout that first half to see less and less of Abde, Jugla, Ferran, Xavi, Pedri. And so the transition was very bad. And Athletic Club studied Barcelona very well. They attacked the right places. We needed to be much faster within that defensive line, be more compact, which was the most difficult thing for Barcelona to do. And that is why, again, I'm going to bring up Eric Garcia. This is why this center back here, he is very important because his ball progression, his ability to distribute the ball, his ability to move forward with the ball and dribble past two players and eliminate two other players and to go in a 5v3 moment within the field, that is why Eric Garcia is so important, because he is able to do that. But we couldn't get that because he is currently injured. Now, on the 20th minute, we saw Ferran Torres score a goal for Barcelona. He cut in from the left, he shot to the top right. It was a very David Villa type of goal. I was so happy to see Ferran Torres finally get his first goal for Barcelona. It only took him about 2 games to get his first goal for Barcelona, and that is what we want to see, is for him to score these bangers from the left side, or when he plays as a striker. He leveled Barcelona 1-1. This was exactly why we signed Ferran Torres, is for moments like this, and he has delivered. And I'm happy to see that Ferran Torres is contributing into Barcelona's success during these very tough moments. Now, going past that first half, Barcelona were so lucky to not be so behind, to not be losing 3-1 or 4-1. It was so clear that Xavi needed to do some readjustments. Now, going into the second half, we improved our game, but it was not to the point where Barcelona were dominant. Like, we did not have a good performance at all throughout the first half, the second half, and in the extra time. Like, yes, of course, we have improved, like I have said, but we did not play well. There were still defects in this game. Not once did we ever dominate Athletic Club in any areas of the pitch. Like, every time we made a back pass, that led away possession. Like, I don't know what happened in today's game. I don't know what these players were feeling on the field. Was it pressure? Was it because Xavi had his tactics wrong or something? But Barcelona did not look as focused like in the previous game against Real Madrid. We paid Barcelona the respect against Real Madrid because they showed the focus, they showed the attitude, they showed that they could come back against one of the top Spanish teams in the world, if not the top Spanish team in the world. And the fact that they came in here looking like they did not even want to play, that is like the most disrespectful thing you could do. And there can be no excuses on these players being tired, because they have had a total of like 7 to 8 days of rest. Our last game was like a week ago. And so, of course, Barcelona, they found more chances to get those goals in, and that is mainly because of the substitution of Ansu, Nico, and Frankie de Jong. And especially when it comes to Pedri and Nico, these two midfielders, every time they're on the pitch, it's like they bleed the Barcelona DNA. They were always capable to get away from those tight spaces. It unlocked Barcelona's counterattacks, and so it was a very great night for both Nico Gonzalez and Pedri. But of course, it was not enough for Barcelona to win. Our momentum continued to stop. Like, there were moments when Barcelona started to gain momentum, we started to see some traction, but one of the players that really did hurt us in that second half, and I'm very sorry to say this, right, because I know that we do have Frankie FC in the comment sections, but one of the players that really did hurt our momentum in that second half, it was Frankie de Jong. Unfortunately, there were so many times where we lost possession, and there were 2 very bad passes coming from Frankie that could have led Athletic Club towards a goal. And I know that these opportunities that Frankie has given towards Athletic Club did not end up as a goal, but it showed Athletic Club that we were still very vulnerable, that we showed weakness, that we were nervous, and that is what gave Athletic Club the confidence and the momentum to continue to step forward and believe that they can win against Barcelona. And so right now, Frankie is just not in a good moment, and I hope that eventually he finds that moment where he can still be one of the best midfielders for Barcelona. But right now, he is not the most reliable. I would still say that the most stable midfield that Xavi Hernandez does have right now, it is with Pedri, Xavi, and Busquets. And the fact that Xavi, Pedri, and Busquets are showing the best performance on the field after only being together for like 2 games, right? Because Pedri just came back. There is still a lot of work to be done between these 3 players, and I do think that they can distribute a great midfield for the next 4 to 5 months and really do well for us within La Liga. And so Athletic Club did score on the 85th minute. It was another set piece disaster. Like, I do not know how many goals Barcelona do have to give away through set pieces, but if there was one thing that Barcelona should fix when they are in training, right, because we're going to be having like about 6 to 7 more training sessions before we get into that next match in La Liga, one of the things that we do have to fix during those training sessions, it is set pieces. It has to be set pieces, because we allow so many goals from corner kicks or goal kicks or set crosses from the opposition. And so fast forward towards the 92nd minute, we saw Pedri score in the last minute, the one player that did just return from a 4-month injury, the one player that only had 2 games under Xavi Hernandez, the one player that was considered as one of the best players in the Euros last year. This player here, he has showed up again for Barcelona, and this is what we want to see. We want to see these youngsters like Pedri and Ferran Torres step up for Barcelona, because that is what creates a team. That is how you create a brand new dynasty, is to see these youngsters step up for their club. And I'm so happy that Pedri got this goal. He did deserve it because of his performance that he was having in the midfield. He looked very dominant, and I could not ask for a better comeback for Barcelona within the first half and in the second half. But now let's go into extra time, right? And I'm going to make this very short. I'm only going to be talking about certain points. I'm not going to give a summary or a story about the extra time, because I do want to point out very important things, which is also going to lead towards the conclusion. Point number one, Barcelona were able to return twice against Athletic Club, and the fact that they were still unable to stand up for themselves and say that this was our game, that was very unfortunate to see. Like, Barcelona, yes, it's great that Barcelona is fighting to come back, but we need to take that extra step to actually get the win in the end. Point number two, Ansu Fati was unable to continue in the extra time. He has only played about 40 to 50 minutes, and the only reason why he was unable to continue, it is because he has re-injured himself. I do not know if it's a knee injury, a quad injury, a hamstring injury, a calf injury, but Ansu Fati is currently injured. It was probably one of the saddest parts, aside from Barcelona losing 3-2 against Athletic Club, of this game, because we want to see Ansu Fati to prosper on the field, and the fact that he is unable to do that because of these health issues, it's a really sad thing to see. And so we saw him leave the field. He was crying, and then he had to cry on Xavi's shoulders. He went down the tunnel, and it was all set and done from there. We do not know what's going to be happening with Ansu Fati. It is also unclear on when he's going to come back, but Ansu Fati has re-injured himself. Now moving on to point number three, Alba. Alba has a contract until 2024, and the main reason why I am saying this is because right now I think that Barcelona do have to look for a brand new left back. Now, I am not the type of fan to say just because he had a very bad performance here, I do want him out. I'm not that type of fan, right? I do like to assess the whole season and like 24 months before. And the fact that Alba continues to show the exact same mistakes, he continues to mentally drain himself through these games multiple times. This is not the only game where he has done this. This shows you that Barcelona do have to look elsewhere, because he continues to show that when he is in those intense or high pressure moments, he is mentally drained out. He is physically unable to compete, and he has failed once again. He was the reason why Barcelona conceded those 2 goals, because he was ran through in the first goal, and then he gave away that penalty that led Athletic Club score the 3rd goal and eliminated FC Barcelona. So mentally, he is costing Barcelona so much. He is just too limited. And the fact that he does have a contract until 2024, we have to look elsewhere. Like, yes, okay, fine, we can keep Jordi Alba for the next 2 seasons, but Barcelona have to look for either Grimaldo or maybe Gaia or whatever left back is out there. If Barcelona can pull off a miracle and get Alphonso Davies, then let's do it. But Barcelona do have to get some other left back. They have to look for some other alternative. Maybe Alejandro Balde can be a player that they could work on. We do not know his status as of yet, but as of now, Barcelona do have to make some readjustments in some certain parts of this starting 11. But that is basically it, right? That is the Barcelona review that I want to give. I know that it did seem like a very general review of this whole season, because I think that our season is over. Like, we need to just aim for the top 4, and that is it, and then just forget about this season and go into the next season. I still do have a lot of confidence on Xavi's Barcelona. I still think that he can bring Barcelona into a very high level, but we have to go through a transfer window. We do have to reinforce certain areas on the pitch, and I do believe that we can do that with the hands of Mateo Alemán and Joan Laporta. We can get very, very far, my friends. But that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona post-match review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.